Welcome to the Carter Podcast. I'm your host, Carter the Boss. Hold on, y'all. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Why I don't want to. Why I don't. There we go. Let me try to put it in a different angle. What's up, y'all? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I was gonna go on the walk, but my knee is swollen with fluid, so I don't want to make it worse right now. I do have an appointment tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning to have the doctor like check it out for me, just to see if they're gonna drain it or whatever. Um, let's dive in. Let's dive in. Let me make sure I got my water because I gotta stay hydrated. So let's dive in. And I gotta do the poll. I gotta do the poll. Let me do the poll. Let me see. The question we gonna ask on the poll is: Are men still the head of the household? That's a good poll right there. That's a good poll. Are men still the head of the household? Okay. Boom, boom, boom. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So do women hear men when they speak? And what I'm asking you is like, what is the one question a man asks that a woman, or there's, I don't even want to say a woman, one question that a man asks that we don't know if we're being heard. So when a man asks you, what do you see when you look at me? Why is it so hard for a person to say what they see? Right? Good, bad, or the other. And most men who ask this question ask because sometimes we don't see anything in ourselves. We really don't. We sometimes don't feel that connection with ourselves as far as being uh, a provider or being just a great spouse to the person we're with, right? We have to stop and look and wonder, are we being heard? Listening is one thing. You can listen to a man all day. You can just be sitting there listening, but you're not hearing him when he's asking these questions. People will ask a man, man, how are you doing? How are you feeling? You good? And because of the way we are raised and taught, we'll lie and say, yeah, everything's fine, even when it's not. Everything's fine. We sometimes look to our woman to tell us, like, look, you don't have to carry the burden of the world on your back every day, or on your shoulders, as they say. You don't have to carry that burden every day. But one thing a woman will never understand is the moment a man wakes up and his feet touch the ground, our burden of carrying begins. What we don't want to do is carry a burden all day long and come home and carry another burden at home. We don't want to carry that same burden. We should be able to come home and just unwind. And when we say unwind, we just want to sit back and relax. We just want to be able to just sit back and relax and have a different conversation with you. I'm a strong believer I used to say this all the time: leave work at work. Leave work at work. Leave personal business at home, but leave work at work. When you come home, don't bring, you know what happened? Da, da, da. Now, sometimes I get it. You gotta tell somebody. And this is my fair thing, and this is for the men out here in the world. Your woman is to be your best friend and your confidant. Or the person you're with in a relationship is to be your best friend and confidant. That means if you're having a problem and you're asking for some kind of like clarity or advice from that person, you need to go to your significant other, not somebody else's significant other. Now, why do people go to other people and talk to them? Because they know they're not going to get interrupted. Does it make it right? No, not at all. But they know they're not going to get interrupted. They know they're going to be able to get whatever's bothering them off their chest 100%. But the bad part about that is, ladies and gentlemen, is when you confide in somebody else, you start to develop feelings for somebody else. So then you start looking at your relationship like, well, I really don't have one here. You know what I'm saying? The person you're with is the person you're with. You selected them. You said, this is the ride I need to take. But here goes the problem. Even when you're going through your darkest hours, please believe the person you're with knows that you're going through something, because they've been with you long enough that they can sense it. They can sense it. They know when you're not in that space. They know when you're suffering and you're holding it inside. Why do you think they give you that space? But one thing about it is this, and I'm going to bring up some in a minute. Y'all just pay attention to it. If I'm sitting there quiet and I'm just looking at TV, and you see me just gazing off into the TV, let me have that. That means I'm decompressing my thoughts. That means I'm telling myself it's going to be all right. That don't need no interruption. You need to allow that download from the man that you're with to download all that anger and energy and just be like, you know what, God got it. You know what I'm saying? Because when you interrupt it, now the energy focuses on you, and the energy focuses on, damn, I already know what's coming. Why you ain't? What's the matter? I'm just thinking about something. Well, what are you thinking about? You see all the questions that come when all you had to do was wait. Just wait your turn. Wait your turn. Ladies, let me tell you the one thing a man don't want to hear when he's just in his zone. Please stop making him live in something that he did years ago. Please stop bringing that up in a conversation that ain't got nothing to do with nothing right now. Nothing. Please let that man just decompress. Because when you bring up something that happened years ago, it ain't got nothing to do with right now, guess what we're thinking? Like, oh, you ain't got nothing new to talk about. Now you're making my day worse. Let me just decompress. Let me decompress, and then most men will be like, hey, babe, how you doing? How's your day? Oh, good, babe, but tell me what went on today that has you in this mode. And allow him to get it off his chest to you. Allow him to speak to you in a way of you're not judging him. Because one thing that all men go through when we walk out the door, I don't care what race, color, or creed you are, when we walk out the door, we're not guaranteed to return. That's one battle we all face. Some just get it worse. But we all face the battle of, when I walk out this door, this I love you may be the last I love you hear. Because there's no guarantee that I'm going to return. Anything could happen. Accident, murder, anything can happen. I can have a heart failure, anything, right? So when I walk out the door, and I tell you for the last time, when I walk out that door, I love you, hold on to that. Hear him when he says that. Hey, I love you. Hold on to that. Because you may never hear it again from him because of all that you got cluttering your brain. A man sometimes doesn't feel like he's even the head of his household. He doesn't feel like he's the head of his household. You ever seen a woman cook food, serve the kids first, and then serve the man, the person that's the head of the house? Have you ever seen that? Like, it's the weirdest thing in the world. Why is everybody else eating before the provider? It's different for men. You ever hear a man say to himself, man, I'm not doing enough, I need to be doing more? That's because not only is a man, when he's providing for the house. He has to figure out how to continue to provide for himself. And that's where men and women are different. Men provide for the house. Women provide for their children. It's just the way it is. Men want to build a home. Women build a house for their children. When a woman dies, she leaves it to her children. When a man dies, he leaves it to his wife or whoever he's with. The rules are different. So when a man says to you, like, are we building this home together? That's what he wants to know. When I die, babe, are you going to be financially situated because of all the work I'm putting in? Because when you die, the kids are perfectly fine because all the work you putting in. But where does that leave me? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you focus on what a man feels, he will tell you what his heart desires. His heart desires very little. Love, peace, honesty, faithfulness. That's it. If you've ever been in a relationship where infidelity happens, like it happened, and y'all talked about it, and it's a done deal, and y'all moved on, and y'all are laughing and joking and giggling, all it takes is for one thing to happen to have that brought back up in conversation. Don't answer your phone. Don't answer a text message. So you must be with somebody else. Never mind, I could be in the hospital laid up, right? This is what men think versus what women think. Never mind that I probably got a promotion at work and I got to learn the new system and all that. Never mind all that. You got to be doing something wrong. So women, when we ask you, like, what do you think of me? What do you think and what do you see? The reason why we're asking is because if you think I'm the same person I was then you need to go. And if you don't see the greatness that's coming out of me, then you need to go. Because not only do men not say, well, there's somebody else out there for me. Not only do we not say that, we say I'm good by myself. Because the energy that we're pouring into you, we want you to understand, like, we're not perfect. We made mistakes. Things happen. But we've grown from it, and we grew together to forgive each other, right? See, the one thing that you'll never hear is, like, a man bring up stuff from the past. Because he doesn't want to relive it. Doesn't care to relive it. Yes. If a man cheats, and cheating is not always a physical touch. I need to make sure I clear this up. Cheating is not always a physical touch. Cheating is if you are emotionally connected to somebody else while you're in a relationship with somebody else. That is cheating. That is cheating. So when a man asks a woman, are you emotionally connected to the person that you were speaking to instead of coming to me? And she says yes, then fellas, it's time to walk away. Ladies, it's time to walk away. Women, let me tell you one thing y'all need to stop doing. In the midst of his downfall, when he's at his lowest point, stop trying to kick your man while he down. Stop trying to kick him while he down. He already low. He already don't feel like you love him enough as it is. He already feels like he's not giving you everything that you want. Not need, but want. He already feels that. Why do you think he goes and works all that overtime? Why do you think he's always like, hey, babe, I'm going to go work some extra hours here. Hey, babe, what do you need? You ever notice the man never asks himself what he needs? He always asking everybody else what do they need. I have a homeboy right now working 2 jobs. He's a security guard. Basically like 24 hours a day, I feel like he's a security guard, right? And then whenever extra jobs come, like he be behind them little trail rides shoveling horse poop. Because he says I have to provide for my woman. And then I always ask him this: what does she provide for you? What does she provide for you? What does this woman provide for you? Does she bring you the peace that you desire? Does she bring you that inner joy that you desire? No? Then you're doing too much for her. You're doing too much. See, women got to understand, a man is already broken. He's broken. From the moment he's born, he's broken. Why? Because he has to choose between the love of his father and his mother. Who does he love more? He's already broken. So as he's growing, he's piecing everything together. It's like Legos, like piecing it together to make something bigger, stronger, better. Then when he's looking to his father to mimic what it is to be a man, and he's mimicking his mother to know what it is to have love. Because his mother is the first real relationship of love that he'll ever have. Not intimate love, but mental love. Emotional connection to a female. That is the first love that a man ever has. A little boy loves his mother first emotionally, but his father, he's looking to guide him through life. Like, teach me how to be a man. The worst thing a woman can say is that you weren't raised correctly. Your mother couldn't have raised you correctly. You know, my mother raised me to the best of her ability. She gave me the emotional side of love, the emotional side of being raised. But the streets of my father taught me the toughness. Sometimes it's a plus, sometimes it's a minus. You ever see people judge you so bad? Like women, I'm talking about women you're in a relationship with. They judge you like this. You ask the world this. A man will tell you that, look, babe, when we out, I can't be emotionally connected to you and protect you. So I'm going to just choose the protection route tonight. I know I got you. I'm going to protect you, though. And it can't be we holding hands the whole night because I need my hands free in case something pop off. That's a man being protective. You ever see the lion in the jungle? Do you see the hate he got to go through? He got other lions trying to take over his pride, and he got to fight his own kids sometimes in the pride because they want to be the head. A lion's job is never done. So why would you think a man's job is ever done? You ever seen a man who's, and I say this respectfully, a man who has different mothers of his children, but he's trying to please his children, not the mothers. And at the same time, he got to please the person he's with. I've seen it, I've lived it, I know it. And I'm going to tell you something. It takes a hell of a woman to be with a man who has multiple baby moms. That it takes a hell of a woman. Because not only does she see that they're trying to tear down her man, not only are they trying to break him mentally, because nope, as long as you're in a relationship, you can't see your kids, right? This is what men go through. So not only is he being broken down, she has to reassure him everything is going to be all right without adding it up or making it about her. So when a man asks you, what do you see when you look at me? What do you feel when you touch me? He needs to know, because he needs to know that he's still okay in your eyes. He needs to know that everything that he's doing is not for nothing. You dig? So you have to really analyze how a man feels when he sees a woman treating even the other female friends around her better than she treats him. That's cold. That's called when a man sees you treating people that you just met better than a person that you've been with for years. That's a cold habit. And it's real though. You ever seen a man walk into a anywhere, a function with his woman, and she's a happy-go-lucky. She had just got done yelling at you in the car, but she turned that switch like that. That's when a man is looking like, is she bipolar or is she just not good with me? And from there on out, you get in the car and you drive it home. He ain't said a word. And you get out, you walk in, go get undressed, get to bed. You turn your back to him, he turns his back to you. That relationship is no longer strong. Man, let me tell you something, and live by this. You never go to bed angry. Let her go to bed mad all she wants. But you never go to bed angry. You always say, all is well, good night, I love you. You always release yourself of that responsibility. You release yourself of that responsibility. Now, she want to go to bed angry, that's on her. Now she ain't going to be able to sleep good at night. Her mind going to be racing all night. When you go to work in the morning, see, the worst thing is if you have a habit. If you have a habit and you have a routine and you break the routine. What I mean by a routine, you might wake up every morning, kiss her on the forehead, love you, see you later, have a great day. You might be so mad one day you just get up, walk out the house, get in your car and drive off. You don't never do that bullshit. If you're the type of person that texts, good morning, babe, I love you. She expects that text message every single day. Mad or otherwise, she expects that text every day. You know why? Because you have made it a routine to let her know that she's important. Now, there are moments where a man will just see, I ain't gonna text her this morning. I'm gonna see if she thinks about me. Yeah, she thinking about you. And she finna go off on you. Oh, what's up? You must be too busy to text me good morning? Yeah, I was waiting to see if you was just gonna shoot me a good morning text. No, we ain't playing that game. I expect when I wake up to get that message every morning because that might be the last message I get from you. See, as men, when we have to hear our woman, we have to hear our woman. Don't just listen, hear our woman. The same way we want them to hear us, we have to hear them. Yeah, there are moments when we look at our woman like, damn, do you love me? Yeah, I love you. Well, that, babe, I don't know you. I didn't know you need to hear it every day. Well, you do. Well, yeah, I'm a female. You know what a man will tell you? Well, I'm a man. And the same things you want out of life is the same things I want out of life. So if you want love and you want to hear it, what makes you think I don't want to hear it? What makes you think I don't want to hear thank you? What makes you think I just don't sometimes want you to come up to me and just give me a hug for no apparent reason? What makes you think I don't want you to hug me and just lay your head on my chest and just be wrapped in my arms and feel safe? And me knowing that I'm protecting you. What makes you think that? Right? So we have to be knowledgeable and understanding that what you want, I want. So why are we not working towards the same goal? Right? I don't care if your life goal is to be a rapper, a mayor of a city, a great father. I don't care if you work at the zoo. I don't care if you clean cars. I don't care if you are a mechanic. Whatever it is, your life goal at the end should be for both of y'all to be financially situated where you can both laugh together. One thing as a man, and I say this because I've had this conversation with many people. Men, when you're in a relationship with a woman, and I can tell you this because I've done it. When you're in a relationship with a woman and you love her unconditionally, she must have her own thing. Whatever that thing is, she must have her own thing. If you have a hobby you're doing, you must make sure that she has her own hobby. If you, like me, I have my own clothing brand. So I go to my shorty and say, you need your own brand. I need you to have your own imprint. So what do? I go and create a name. I go and say, okay, this is the steps you need to take with this. Boom. Once you hand it over, right? They know what to do after that. A woman knows what to do after you create the hard part. The hard part is creating the name and having a meaning to it, right? Here. I'm not charging you for it. I want you to have your own imprint. Because I'm going to build my empire to this level. I need you to want to build yours. Right? What's up, man? What's up, brother? So, when you build something and then you create something for somebody else and you say, okay, follow what I'm doing, it's easy. So when a man is like, damn, I want to build a lawn service, why don't you ever look up on the internet like what makes a lawn service successful? When I created this podcast, everybody laughed. Oh, here you go. He want to be seen. He want to be on the podcast. He want to do this. Not knowing that the conversations that we have are conversations that people want to have throughout the world. They just want somebody to speak on it for them. You know how many people have said, say, man, I saw your podcast, dog. And man, that would help me out. Because, man, it's not about being seen or being heard. It's about speaking about what people want to talk about. And actually, this gives them the platform to ask questions. Yesterday's poll was what? Or was it the day before? Do you have the right to discipline somebody else's kids? You know, it was 51% said no, 49% said yes. So we're like not too far off from what it is. Let me check the numbers on the poll for today. Let me check the numbers. The question is, are men still the head of the household? And you guys will not believe this, but 50-50. 50% of people said yes, 50% of people said no. 50-50, y'all. That's crazy. But that's the reality. The man may be the head, the man may not be the head of the household. That's 50-50. How do you think that makes a man feel knowing that he's only the head of his house 50% of the time? Like, people don't even think you the head of your household 50%, but 50%. That means your woman or the kids are they the other 50. No matter that you're the provider of the house, right? But I listen. I'm going to be the head of my household no matter what, because it's my job, it's my duty, it's my title. And women, I need y'all to understand something. Stop trying to be the man and the motherfucking woman. Stop trying to wear the pants and the damn skirt. Let your man lead. Now, while he's leading, if he's leading you off a cliff, I suggest you grab hold of him and say, hey, look, I know you want to be the man, but I think if we go this way, we might be a little bit safer. That don't mean he leading you into Dumbville. That's not what leading means. Leading means, look, I'm going to make sure that nothing happens to us. Like me, I'm not a good finance person. Like, I don't like paying bills and none of that. Even in my car, I pay it, but I got it set up where it comes out of my bank account. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not, just take it out of my account. I don't even want to see it. Because I know I'm not built for that. Now, is that to say I can't learn it? Yeah, I probably can. but I don't want to. My father, I just came from New York, right? My father's wife for over 30 something years paid every bill, made every meal, cleaned every crack of the house, cut the yard. She did all of that while my father was at work providing, right? And she had a job, right? When my stepmother passed away, guess what? My father was lost to this day. Didn't know how to pay a bill. He has no clue where the peanut butter was in the house because he never even saw his kitchen. We have to be a team. If you're a great provider, be a great provider. But if you can't provide and learn, then you better have a good backup plan. Good thing is he got one of my sisters who takes care of his financial situations. It's difficult as it is to want better for yourself and the person you're with. If you're in a relationship, y'all, keep your relationship tight. Keep it tight. There's no reason why y'all can't get through anything that y'all set y'all's mind to. But one thing I've said over and over, don't fake it for the world. Don't fake it for the world. Just don't do it. Like, I love the fact that when I have conversations about the Bible and real life stuff, I love the fact that we can dialogue, and once a person hits a roadblock in it, they say, "Well, I'm still human. I'm not perfect." Okay, you're not. Then stop acting like you are. That's all we asking. We not asking you to be perfect, but we damn sure don't want you acting like you're perfect. We want you to be clear on, we know that things happen, but be the same person to the person you're with to everybody else. One thing about me, like somebody once told me, well, tell your side of the story. Tell what you've been. I have. I've said clear on here that in my lifetime I was a liar. I was unfaithful. Um, I didn't understand what it meant to be a good boyfriend, a good son. There was times where as a father, like I don't say I wasn't a good father, but I wasn't an attentive father. I've said all these things. But one thing I will also say is like I've learned from all my mistakes that I've ever been through. So it's not for somebody else to keep talking about my mistakes. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you listening as a man, when you're growing as a man. When like a man's job is not to become a yes man. And if you don't know what a yes man is, it means everything that if somebody says that, right? Yes. No, that's not my job. My job ain't to be a yes man. My job is to make sure you understand that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to keep peace and joy around me within reason. Men, whenever you go on a walk, a daily walk, make sure you go on a daily walk with clearing your mind, soul, you're energizing your body, and your spirit is at peace. Ladies, let me tell you something, and I want you to hear this. We don't care how much makeup you put on. We don't care how long your nails are. We don't care what kind of shoes you got on your feet, the dress you wearing. All that don't mean nothing if the inside isn't making a change. If the inside is still hateful and if the inside is still judgmental, we don't care about none of that stuff you got on the outside. See, our thing is we want the inside you. We want we rather have you stripped down to everything and just talk to us with the inside you. Yeah. Do we have to listen and be able to say, I'm at a point where I need you to stop being so ununderstanding. Everybody got to have a moment to themselves. One thing I've learned over the years is I'm not going to hang out with drug addicts and not expect to become a drug addict. I'm not going to hang out with alcoholics and not expect to become an alcoholic. I'm not going to hang around people who cheat and be like, damn, dog, well, they're doing it. No, I'm going to distance myself from anything that I know can ruin me. Be clear. A man just wants to be heard. And when he's heard, after you say, okay, babe, I hear you, please stop trying to talk him back into who he used to be. Because once he starts talking about what the things you've done, it don't sit well. It won't sit well. Men, stop crying over spilled milk. You lost your job. Go get another one. Your kids ain't listening. Pump the brakes, grab a hold of them, and have a nice little group meeting. If you got more than one, have a group meeting so you ain't got to keep repeating yourself. Men, if you and your woman are disagreeing, you never disagree in public. Women, you never disagree with your man in public. In public, you're always right, he's always right. But when y'all get home, behind closed doors, y'all discuss the stuff that is not correct. In public, though, we don't embarrass each other in public. We don't allow people to come around and interrupt our peace and happiness. We don't allow these things. Because we must have that moment where we're like, you know what? We've come too far. Just throw the towel in and let somebody else enjoy our hard work. If you both are on the same page, that means you're hearing each other. But if I'm doing all of this and you're doing all of that, we're no longer a team. Believe me when I say facts are facts. We can both stand together, but we can't both talk together. That means we can't both talk at the same time because neither one of us is hearing what's coming out of each other's mouth. We're over talking each other. And one last thing before I get off. If we're having a conversation and you get mad and you keep hanging up, guess what's going to happen? Eventually it'll be your last hang up. Same thing goes for a man. Don't just hang up. And you make sure you understand, hey, I'm going to let you talk, but when you're done, I need that same respect. That means we're hearing each other. Y'all go ahead and enjoy this Sunday that God has given y'all. Y'all pray on whatever y'all need to pray on and ask God for whatever blessings you want. You got to speak it into existence. I want you to understand better things is coming your way. Understand that life is what we have been given. And life is what we need to be enjoying. Thank you for hanging out with me on the podcast. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.